Good evening, guests and fellow Toastmasters, and good morning to others. A very warm welcome to meeting number 44 of the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club. As your Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting, I am highlighting some key points so that you can get the maximum benefit out of it. The meeting is going to get blocked for 2 hours. I would urge everyone to stay for 2 hours because we also have an education session popping up right after the generic meeting, and I'm sure you all will have a lot of fun and learnings. Your video should be on and your audio should be off, and I will request everyone to speak only when you're called to speak or you need to speak. Regarding the topics of sex, religion, and politics, even though Toastmasters International does not put any restrictions on any topics, we at the Gabbys Toastmasters Club request all the speakers, role takers, and guests to be mindful, responsible, and abstain from expressing any controversial views towards these sensitive topics. Our club mission is to provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Let me now hand over the stage to the presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster Mita Shah. Mita Shah is a teacher by passion and profession with a focus of building a strong foundation through early childhood education for children. She is currently the president of Gabbys International Toastmasters Club. Toastmasters Mita, the stage is all yours.
Thank you for such a wonderful introduction. That was our Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting, Toastmaster Yogita Upadhayay. Let's give her a huge round of applause. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to today's virtual meeting. I did also like to extend a warm welcome to all our members, guests, and distinguished Toastmasters joining us today. We are thrilled to have you all with us and hope you all will find today's meeting enlightening and engaging. Feel free to share your introduction over chat. On this note, I call open this meeting number 44 of the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club to order. As we gather today, it's a special time in Toastmasters International history. In just a few days, on October 22nd, 2024, we will celebrate 100 years of empowering individuals to become better communicators and leaders. It's amazing to think that what began as a small club in 1924 and by Dr. Ralph C. Smedley has now become a global movement, impacting millions of lives. It is a platform to enhance public speaking, leadership skill, and networking skills. On important milestone in our journey was in 1973, when women were officially welcomed into Toastmasters International. Our first female member, Helen M. Blanchard, DTM, paved the way for many, and in 1977, Elvin Jan Burge made history by becoming the first woman and the first blind member to win the title of World Champion of Public Speaking at the International Convention. These pioneers remind us of the power of inclusion and how far we have come. Today, we are honored to have an inspiring keynote speaker, none other than Luisa Montalvo. the 2023-24 World Champion of Public Speaking. She is a true testament to the transformative power of Toastmasters, and we are eager to hear from her later in the meeting. We at Gabbys are one family with 3 clubs. We meet 3 days in a week. The Gabbys International Toastmasters Club meets on every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time online. The Gabbys Toastmasters Club meets on every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon IST, noon hybrid. And the Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club meets on every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. IST online. Our theme for the day is I don't know. Often we feel pressured to have all the answers. But embracing I don't know opens the doors to growth, better questions, and deeper understanding. Let's explore together how this simple phrase can lead us to greater knowledge and self-awareness. The Toastmaster of the day will throw more light on this theme. Now, he is someone special, working professional associated with PSU as a senior engineer, very enthusiastic about learning new things to evolve myself. Have an ardent passion for playing cricket and speaking in English, and strong believer in simplicity, integrity, and hard working. He joined Toastmasters to develop speaking in English and communication skills. With a huge round of applause, let's welcome Toastmaster Sunil Gupta.
Thank
The
you.
virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. Please give a huge round of applause to our Presiding Officer. Good evening, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. I don't know. Does it sound nice? No. Mostly, nobody likes to hear or say this sentence. Am I right? But why? Can any one of you tell me the reason why we don't like to hear or say this sentence? I don't know. Anybody would like to share his or her experience?
Because we probably don't know, and that's when we say we don't know, or just to escape a situation.
To satisfy our ego.
I don't like to hear someone saying I don't know, because I believe that things can be figured out only if you intend to do so. So that's where I come from.
To avoid conflict.
Conflicts.
Yeah, I like to hear, I don't know, but we can find out, or I can find out.
If we summarize all these reasons, so we can say that they are intense internal and external pressures on us to be strong, powerful, confident, and have all the answers. But the reality is that none of us knows as much as we think we do. We put huge expectations on ourselves to have all the answers. Let me ask you one thing. When your child or someone at your workplace, be it your boss or someone junior to you, ask you a question and you don't know the answer, how many of you immediately admit and say, I don't know? Please show me your hands. Sulaksana. Yeah, one, two. Okay. Only two are honest person. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay, now tell me, how many of you uh, try to pretend that you know the answer? Yogita, Vinay Kumar. Sometimes it happens. Actually, we usually hesitate to say, I don't know, especially in front of our children or our juniors and bosses, because of these 4 reasons. Number one, fear of appearing incompetent. Number two, desire to maintain authority or control. Number three, fear of losing credibility. Number four, feeling pressure to answer. However, despite these disadvantages, accepting uncertainty or not knowing can have some great advantages. We'll discuss these later. Now, for the benefit of guests, I would like to explain the structure of today's meeting. In today's meeting, we have 3 sections: prepared speech section, evaluation section, and education section. First of all, I would like to call upon the general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Smruti Sagarika Mohanty, to brief her role and responsibility. Toastmaster Smruti Sagarika Mohanty is an experienced B2B sales professional and certified soft skill trainer. After a decade in the industry, she is currently pursuing a full-time master's degree in the US. A mindful introvert who is on a journey to becoming a profound public speaker. At present, she is serving as the Vice President membership of the Gabbys Online Toastmasters Club. Over to you, Toastmaster Smruti S Mohanty. Please explain your role.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Sunil. Thank you for the lovely introduction. My name is Smruti Sagarika, playing the role of a general evaluator in today's meeting. Now, the general evaluator comes with a slight purpose, which is a big, heavy load on the shoulder at least. Being a general evaluator, it will be my responsibility to evaluate everything which is happening within the meeting, which happened before the meeting, the entire nitty-gritty of the entire and the whole segment today. I will take note of everything which is happening, glorify which really went well, and also try my best to suggest if there are certain room for improvement. At end of the entire segment, I will come with a consolidated report of every aspects. Now, when it comes to aspect and a consolidated report, I have an entire team with me who will help me to collaborate this. The team is known as the TAGL team at Gabbys. The T stands for the timer, and today's timer role will be played by Toastmaster Suchita Nagar. Toastmaster Suchita, originally hailing from Delhi, has made Mumbai her home. As a dedicated talent acquisition partner at a prominent medical device company, she excels in her professional role. Outside of work, she cherishes her time exploring new destinations and creating memorable moments with her child. Toastmaster Suchita, could you please help us the role of a timer in today's meeting?
Thank you, General Evaluator. You will never find time for anything. If you want time, you must make it. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and dear guest. As a timer, I will time the table topic, speakers, formal speeches, and the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red card, which denote specific time remaining. Table topic having a 2 minutes timing. At 2 minutes, I will raise a green card. I will raise a green card. At 1 minute, I will raise a green card At 1 minute 30 second, I will raise a yellow card. At 2 minutes, I will raise a red card. 30 minutes is a grace period. For prepared speeches, 4 to 6 minutes. One minute. Sorry, for icebreaker is going to be 4 to 6 minutes. I will raise a green card at 4 minutes. I will raise a yellow card at 5 minutes. And I will raise a red card at 6 minutes. For prepared speeches, which is the time for 5 to 7 minutes, I will raise a green card, which is at 5 minutes. 6 minutes, I will raise a yellow card. And at 7 minutes, I will raise a red card. 30 minutes is a grace period. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Suchita. Did you see the entire fine prints needed to be a timer? Hence, it is our responsibility to keep a very keen eye on this particular window throughout the entire meeting. Moving ahead with the next key role taker of the tag team is our counter Toastmaster Sanjay Jain. Toastmaster Sanjay is a chartered accountant by profession. Outside Toastmasters and accounting, he likes playing cricket, chess, and loves traveling. Toastmaster Sanjay, please help us understand the role of an accountant in a Toastmasters meeting.
Yeah, thank you, General Evaluator, for this opportunity. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. As an R counter, the purpose of R counter is to listen and make a note of unnecessary words and sounds used by all the speakers and the role takers of today's meeting. This report would focus on 5 major areas. Filler words such as U, A, inappropriate interjection, for instance, and, well, but, so, you know, the use of clutch words similar to basically, actually, this thing, etc. Repetitive words or phrases in form of I, or this means, unintentionally long or short pause made by the speakers. I will present the rest of my report when called for by General Evaluator at the end of the meeting. Thank you very much. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sanjay. Moving ahead, the third role taker is our grammarian. Today, Toastmaster Rahul will be playing the role of a grammarian. Well, Toastmaster Rahul Swami is a health and fitness freak from Panchkula, Haryana, now based in Hyderabad. He is an MBA grad from NIPER Mohali, currently working at Sanofi as a marketing analyst with over 3 years of work experience. In his free time, he loves to go to the gym every day and is currently learning MMA, which is mixed martial arts, Thai boxing, and kickboxing as well. A fitness freak. Moving ahead, please, Toastmaster Rahul, explain your role as a grammarian.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Um, a very good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all the Toastmasters. I am the grammarian today, and it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take notes of any misuse of English language, as well as outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it's my duty to introduce you the word of the day. And today's word of the day is enticing, which means attractive or alluring. Some examples are we have some enticing plans for our employees, or the enticing aroma of the food made everyone's mouth water. I would encourage everyone to use word of the day in today's meeting, and I will give the word of the day report and the grammatical usage report when called upon during the meeting. Thank you so much. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rahul. After hearing the word of the day, we are definitely looking forward for that enticing grammarian report, which will be lined up for us towards the end segment of this entire meeting. Thank you so much. The last but not the least, the listener of the TAGL team is Toastmaster Ankur Vishwakarma. Ankur is a passionate software engineer who combines his love for technology with a thirst for knowledge, often exploring new places to read and grow. His true calling, however, is animal welfare. He dedicates his success to improving the lives of animals and is committed to driving it as lasting as possible and to make certain change in there. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ankur, from my end. Well, moving to you, let us know the role of a listener in a Toastmasters meeting.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Hello, everybody. I am the listener of the day. I'll be listening closely to everything said during the meeting while everybody tries to entice the audience of the meeting today, and will draft short question to test our listening skills at the end of the meeting. Thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rahul. That was the TAGL team and your general evaluator for the meeting. We will come back again towards the last leg. For now, enjoy your Toastmaster of the day. Back to you, Toastmaster Sunil Gupta.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for precisely describing your and your team's role. Have you ever considered that in some situation, saying, I don't know, can be incredibly useful or less harmful? Let me share a very old, short, and interesting story with you. In an interview, the interviewer asked a candidate, what is the capital of Karnataka? The candidate was just like me, who used to go for interviews without any preparation. So he didn't know the answer. Instead of saying, I don't know, he guessed the answer and said, Hyderabad. Now, you tell me, was it right for him to give a wrong answer? Or he should have said, I don't know. Please.
I don't
In
know
both
would
cases,
be right, I guess.
anyone other?
Never
Or no,
tell,
that, yes,
never tell something you're not sure of.
yes, good. Anybody wants to try?
I'm not sure.
Okay, you don't know. That's
Yeah.
a good answer.
I don't know. It's a really good answer because it requires a lot of self-confidence to say that at the interview.
Yes. And the reason behind it is that in both cases he was wrong. But then why he should have chosen to say I don't know? I'll tell you why. Because if he said I don't know, he would have been wrong for only one thing, that he didn't know the capital of Karnataka. But by answering Hyderabad, he got three things wrong. Number one, Karnataka's capital. Number two, Telangana's capital. Number three, Hyderabad's location. So the moral of the story is admitting I don't know shows honesty and willingness to learn, whereas guessing can lead to compounded errors. If you find yourself in a situation where you don't know something, instead of acting more knowledgeable, more enticing, more smart, always be honest and say, I don't know, in your own polite way, adding a pinch of self confidence, and avoid a potentially embarrassing situation. Let's start the prepared speech section. Today, the first speaker is Toastmaster Kamal Jain. He will be evaluated by Toastmaster Yogita Upadhayay. I would request both of them to confirm their presence.
Yeah, I am here, Kamal.
Yes. Okay,
Yes,
both
I'm
are
also
present.
here.
Okay, thank you. Toastmaster Kamal Jain is chartered accountant, born and brought up in Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh. He finished Polytechnic Engineering Diploma in IT before doing CA. He worked in Airtel, Tata Motors, Samsung, and Daimler Truck. He is passionately curious and invests his free time on equity research and political knowledge. Today, he is going to present Level 1, Project 4, Evaluation and Feedback, second speech of the path Dynamic Leadership. The purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. The purpose of this second speech is for the member to demonstrate their ability to deliver an effective, respectful speech evaluation speech. Timer, please note the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. The title of the speech is Trash to Treasure. Toastmaster Kamal Jain, Trash to Treasure, Trash to Treasure, Toastmaster Kamal Jain.
Hello, Toastmaster and guest. So, day before yesterday, I went to a DMart supermarket to buy apple cider vinegar. Its cost is around only 300 rupees. But I ended up with shopping of rupees 1600. I feel this problem is not only with me. How many of you agree when we go to supermarket or online shopping, we always ended with some excessive buying or excessive consumption? Yeah, so you are not only those one, because recently Flipkart and Amazon launched their festival season sale, and initial 3 days sale was jumped by 28% comparative to last year. When I see this huge demand in consumer goods, I recall my childhood days. I belongs to a lower middle class family. I was so middle class that my parents thought money plant will help us to make us rich. Being a middle class, we always use the things in such a way so things should not be in a condition to use anymore. We always excuse our toothpaste still last once. We use rubber band or safety pins to fix our loose clothes. Paint buckets are quite popular among middle class family. It is used as a container, washroom buckets, plantation, and many ways. Same for soft drinks bottles and pan masala bags. Being of middle class, I face a difficult situation for necessity as well. So I had always affectionate towards the poor kids. So when I joined my first job after clearing CA, I planned to celebrate my birthday with orphanage. Almost 4% of Indian children are orphanage. So I born on 8th October. So in 2017, I celebrate my birthday with Jeevala Foundation in Pune. I was excited for celebrate my birthday with Jeevala Foundation. So I start my day on 8th October 2017. But my bike key was broken. I was upset and tried to arrange by transportation from my friends. But it was a Sunday weekend, and that day I realized I was the only single person in Pune, because everyone has a weekend plan there with their girlfriends. But God helped me. Fortunately, I got call from my one of friends, Sumit. He called me to wish my birthday. Hello, Kamal. Many returns of the day. I said, thank you, Sumit, but I need your urgent help. I need a motorbike or some transportation because I am planning to go a NGO. Sumit helped me not only for arrange the bike, but also he joined me for throughout the day. I went to Sumit's flat to pick the bike. When I was waiting outside of his flat, I saw his flatmate, his neighbor was selling some toys, kits, cycles, and old monitors to a scrap seller. So I got an idea, should I buy it and give to an NGO? But I was not sure, so I validated my thought with my friend Sumit. He told, idea is good, but what if they will not buy, own the old things, or they will not take the old things? Then I told, if they will not take, I will sell to scrap seller. It is there is no loss for me. So I bought those items and we went to a NGO. Usually NGO offers two kinds of charity services. Either they ask a donation, they will give you a receipt, or they will ask you one day operational expenses for meals or other services. But Jiwala Foundation provided me opportunity to interact with kids for their actually desire. Since my childhood was tough, I know what kids wants in their childhood, and same happened with me. They demand for soft drinks, chocolates, ice creams, pizza, all this fast food stuff. Me and my friend went to market and bring all those food items and give out those toys as well. When kids saw these items and after having food, I can see their smile on faces. They were very happy. And after looking this moment, I was very happy, but it was very awful moment for me. During this event, I got to interact with the trustee of that NGO as well. So he was also an orphan. His wife was also orphan in childhood. When they got married, they decided to start an NGO instead of producing her own children. So that orphanage home was having around 17 kids, starting from 2 months to 17 years old kid. And mostly they got the kids from either from hospital or police station for missing cases. With after looking this all incident or happiness in their faces of kids, I was very happy and I realized two things. One is happiness in small things. Second, consumerism and overconsumption of things, because India is a highly populated country and soon we are going to a third largest economy. But do you know what is our rank in GDP per capita? We are at 126 out of 779 country. Our 10% Indian hold 65% of wealth. Then what about others? Below 50% people hold only 6% of wealth. So this consumer or excess buying habit is not only harmful for environment, since we are depleting the resources are limited, we can afford, that's why we are buying. But other side of people that below 50%, it is they are not able to afford, because we are increasing the demand of that products or that unnecessary buying the things. It's a simple rule of economy, demand versus supply. As demand will increase, price will up. We can afford, we can take it, but other people cannot afford and resources are limited. It might help to boost the economy, but it has some other negative cons as well. Like it increase of our personal debts, it increase a gap in between the income equality of upper class and lower class, and so many other cons like environment degradation, all these things. So my request to all fellow Toastmasters and guests, whenever you buy shopping or do shopping for this festival, be mindful of your shopping. Please try to reduce your consumption, reuse or recycle whatever you can do. If it is, please give to the needy people, because your trash may be treasure for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Kamal, for a wonderful speech. It is really hard to throw traces. I have a lot of traces at my storeroom. Today's second speaker is Toastmaster Satish Kannan. He will be evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster John Bosco Abraham. I would request Dio to confirm their presence. I think both are present. Toastmaster Satish Kannan is a real estate entrepreneur who believes that it is the journey, not the destination, that matters. This has brought him to Toastmasters, where every week he relishes the idea of meeting new people and hearing their stories and journeys through their speeches. Today he is presenting his first speech of level plan production, the project boot camp of the path, distinguished Toastmaster. The purpose of this project is for the member to demonstrate his or her skills as a leader and a public speaker. The purpose of this first speech is for the member to introduce his or her plan and vision. Timer, please note that the speech duration will be 5 to 7 minutes. The title of the speech is The Climb. Toastmaster Satish Kannan, The Climb. The Climb, Toastmaster Satish Kannan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear fellow Toastmasters. It gives me immense pride to actually do this speech today, right? I mean, to actually do a DTM speech takes a long effort and it's a long journey. I just want to quickly tell you what I have been through. I became a Toastmaster in 2018. I was at the HSR Toastmaster Club, took a break in between. I was an accidental Toastmaster. I just happened to own the building where Toastmaster was hosted, and that's how I got into Toastmasters. I took a break in about 2022. I was also the lucky person to actually charter a club called the Rural Toastmaster Club, then got sucked into becoming an area director, became a president's distinguished area director, was a judge, the best area director in that year. I also chartered, I guess, mentored and sponsored another 3 clubs. And then, took a break. Meanwhile, I completed 2 pathways, took a break for about a year and a half, and then president, I guess, sort of from Gabbys dragged me back into Toastmasters. So that's how I'm back here. And I thought this time around, I'll pursue my Distinguished Toastmaster project. So here I am. Let me start by jumping directly into this project that I'm trying to do at this point. I'm trying to launch this project. There will be another speech when I'm done with this project. So the project is a boot camp. Now let's think about boot camp, the things that evokes in your mind immediately when I say boot camp is a military camp. That's where it found its origins. A prison inmate camp, a disciplinary camp. Well, none of that sort is going to happen with this boot camp. We are going to take the concepts of intensity, grueling intensity. We're going to take the concept of intent, attention from the concept of boot camp, but the rest of the inmates and the prisoners and all of that stuff is not going to exist. So let me jump right into what exactly are we doing in this boot camp. This is a boot camp for the area level contestants who have just completed their club level contests from the 3 Gabbys Toastmaster clubs. We are going to focus on evaluations and table topic contestants. And the third and the most important thing where the climb comes in, why is it a climb, is creating a living document on a how-to in terms of contest manuals called the climb for all future contestants of Gabbys clubs. This is going to be a living document where people who contest, who come back, who can keep contributing to this document and keep building up this document. And that's the platform we want to set up. Obviously, when I say something as in, what am I doing? The next question in your mind is, why are you doing this, Satish? What's the point, right? Well, a DTM project is all about upholding an ethical framework. And what better ethical framework to uphold than the core values of Toastmasters? What are the 4 core values of Toastmasters? Does anybody know? Put your hands up. It's okay. Don't be embarrassed. Awesome. Mita knows. I see Aparna putting her hand up. Uma put her hand up. Lovely. Integrity, respect, service, and excellence are the 4 core values of Toastmasters. We're going to focus on 2 of those core values, which is service and excellence. Remember, there is no excellence until you've achieved integrity, respect, and service. Service, as in encouraging all Toastmasters today and in the future to keep contributing to the idea of combined group learning, not just through competitions, but also generally by encouraging people to give back to the platform as much as they take from the platform. And of course, there is always the excellence part. When the members of a club raise their game, the entire club raises their game, right? The club itself raises its game. So excellence through members who not only compete amongst each other, who also compete in a healthy environment outside also bring back that quality back into the club. So excellence is achieved from that method. Now, what are we doing in terms of a living platform? That's the manual that we are going to create called the Climb, wherein the contestants keep coming back, keep updating these manuals for the future, for the foreseeable future, let me say it this way. All right. Who is the team? I mean, this is a very well-known team. I am the guy who's actually little known in this club, but Aparna and Nancy are very well known. They're charter members of these clubs. Aparna, as you know, was a District 92 ISC first runner-up. She actually was the winner in table topics. Nancy is also a charter member. I've already told you who I am. So the three of us are actually doing this together. I will be leading this effort from my side and pulling together the resources that are needed to complete this bootcamp. Who are the other people who are part of this team? Of course, the winners, who are the subjects of the bootcamp. We've got 7 names listed up here: Mahavir, Arshin. One more member will join this from the November 9th contest. There is Gauri, Saurav, Arshin, and Dhwani. We may add more members depending on what the XCOM gives us, but I think this is the membership group that we are starting with. When is this happening? Today is obviously the kickoff. October 18th to October 30th is when the three of us, the core team, is going to sit down, discuss the topics, finalize the table topics, finalize the speeches that we will put in front of the contestants for the bootcamp. We are doing alternate days from November 1st to November 14th, one day for evaluations and the next day for table topics. These are live sessions that we are going to conduct. I'll also talk about that in my next slide. November 16th is the area level contest. We will observe. We will take more feedback from it. Why? Come back and update the document, the Climb document, which will happen between November 16th and November 20th. And then the feedback, debriefing of the contestants on how better we could have done this, what else could we have done with the bootcamp, and how else can we enhance the Climb document. December 3rd, if everything goes well, I would come back in front of you and perform my second speech. How are we doing it? I think I touched upon this already. Live, regular practice sessions with the contestants, live feedback, invite external speakers, guest speakers, past contestants to also serve as in the panel. And what next? The manual lives. Future consultants, as I said, will review and contribute to this, and regular updates of the Climb manual by both members and contestants. That's it. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Satish Kannan, for your first DTM speech. Let's now talk about Toastmasters. Admitting and saying, I don't know, is also extremely beneficial in Toastmasters. Let's see how. In evaluations, saying and admitting I don't know shows willingness to learn and improves evaluation quality. In table topics, admitting uncertainty, not knowing, encourages creative thinking and genuine responses. In speech writing, researching unknown topics enhances speech content and delivery. In leadership roles, acknowledging limitations builds trust among team members. Now, I will hand over the stage to the general evaluator to present their team members' evaluation reports. Over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Sunil. Let's get started with the evaluation part. So I would request both the speakers and the evaluators to get spotlighted, starting with our first speaker, Toastmaster Kamal Jain, and our first evaluator, Toastmaster Yogita. Yes, she was the sergeant at arms for today's meeting. But to know a bit more about her, Yogita is a go with the flow and a joyful person. She always been a people person, so enjoying her phase as an HR and image soft skills trainer. Beyond the 9 to 5 hustle, you will find her dancing, reading mind bending books, exploring new places, or experimenting with different food. Toastmaster Yogita, over to you for the evaluation.
Toastmaster Kamal, thank you, General Evaluator, for that wonderful introduction. Toastmaster Kamal, you shared your last speech feedback, and congratulations, you have achieved all those points that were mentioned in the feedback. You delivered a captivating and a timely speech. I'm not sure if you qualified on time, but for me, it was well timed, as I could see. The title was very intriguing, like trash to treasure. It had me hooked, like, what is he about to come up? Because I did not hear your previous speech, and this was something unexpected and it was mind blowing. Festivals and sales seasons approaching, you actually chose a topic that is on everyone's mind. And I, being a shopaholic, I related to every aspect. Your opening was engaging. You threw off a question. Instantly, you connected with the audience, and that was the starting hook. The humor you added with the money plant example. Okay. So I related with that example. Why? Because when I had, for my first smartphone, I searched that just when I was doing mindless scrolling. So although it's not a thing everybody does, but I completely recall that moment. Okay. So, but that does not have anything to do with the, generic people, but the rubber bands, the bottles, it was very light-hearted speech and entertaining throughout. You also included a personal story. You developed you discovered the concept about other stuff like apple cider vinegar and other examples. That was good. The conclusion was very, very powerful. You ended with powerful statistics and you gave a very strong conclusion that happiness is not in buying things without paying attention to. And it gives a strong credibility to your message. And you reinforce your call to action by later stating that, okay, maybe whatever you consider trash, that may be something that other people are treasuring. Kudos on that. So now for recommendations part, I will have only 2 recommendations for you. First thing is, please try to incorporate more pauses. Why am I saying that? It felt that some ways you were rushing to the end, and your eyes were also here and there. I'm not sure you were seeing some word and speaking, or it's just an idea. It's just take a deep breath when you're starting about it and just include more pauses. How you can do it? Simply by lessening the number of thoughts. So it's a thing that you get with practice. But second recommendation, it felt flat, Kamal. The speech was very entertaining, but if you include more drama, include more vocal variety, it would give a more stronger connectivity towards the audience, right? Because the energy really felt flat, and if you include more of it, it will become dynamically nice. Overall, excellent speech, thought-provoking, humorous, impactful. Well done, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Yogita. Toastmaster Yogita, for a very clinical and critical evaluation on everything. If I may add something here, it is a second speech for this particular evaluation and feedback series, right? You did say that you received it, but it's always advisable to emphasize or at least read it out what were the recommendation given by the previous evaluator, so that if I'm listening for the very first time or any of the audience is listening for the very first time, they will get a clarity. Okay, these were the feedback given on which Kamal worked, and now this is the further evaluation. That's the only thing from my end. Rest, thank you so much. And Kamal, I thoroughly enjoyed everything. If I may add something to your speech, you had a lot of facts and figures in your speech today. A lot of percentages, you are citing GDP, the Flipkart and everything. Can we cite a source for the same? Trust me, it will give a lot of credibility to your speech crafting. So kudos to both the speaker and the evaluator. Please put your hands together for both of them. Moving ahead with our next speaker and the next evaluator. Our next speaker was Toastmaster Satish Kannan, and the evaluator is distinguished Toastmaster John Bosco Abraham, and he is a person with many accolades. Let me highlight few for all the participants here. A counselor, trainer, mentor, and a guide. A person who has an excellent track record in the Toastmasters journey, where he has spent 27 years. Distinguished Toastmaster John has been recognized as a Toastmaster of the Year twice, held various posts at the club and district levels, and also at international levels. the first district governor of District 82, first region advisor of Region 13, currently president of We Speak Toastmasters. For him, people are goods, circumstances make them different. Distinguished Toastmaster John, stage is all yours.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator of the Day. A very good evening, or good day, or good morning to Toastmasters across and our speaker, Toastmaster Satish Kannan. I thought it would be an enticing speech, and it was. For an accidental Toastmaster, I am your accidental evaluator this evening. I just was browsing and I found that there was a need for an evaluator, and here I am. Let me assure you, I'm very happy I accepted to be an evaluator, more so for a person who has excellent knowledge about what he has to do. You are just one project away to complete your distinguished Toastmaster status. And this particular project of yours is supposed to be concentrating on two very important aspects that Toastmasters give to demonstrate your skills as a leader and as a communicator. Looking at these two areas, I thought as a communicator, you are a very comfortable speaker. You know what you're supposed to speak. Your vocabulary was apt and perfect. You did take us through your speech with the excellent usage of words that you had, and had absolutely no doubts about what you were trying to say. How you said it was very important for me, because you are at the peak now, and for a person who is at that level, being an excellent communicator, I thought was very, very important. Perhaps if there was a little bit more of variety in your voice, it would have added more value to what you were saying. Whilst the content of your speech was so well crafted, the what, the why, the when, and how were very, very clearly explained. And the goal that you had was very specific. It was something that is easy to attain and very relevant to Toastmasters, especially members of the Gabbys. I thought you scored a lot of brownie points. That any plan, any goal that you have is supposed to have timing as an important factor, and you rattled off the dates so beautifully well, which means to me your leadership was such that you planned everything beautifully well after sitting and discussing with a very, very knowledgeable team you brought together. The team of your plans is a very, very important factor in this particular project. It is not something that you do alone, but you lead a team. And I believe you did a perfect presentation about what you were expected to do. Now, I could give you only one suggestion, and this would be to all the Toastmasters. Do you know how a contest is won? Do you know how champions are made? Do you want to learn something about this? And this is what exactly I'm planning to do in my project. Fellow Toastmasters, to reach the top, you need some guidance. And that is what I'm preparing along with my team. Perhaps would have made it perfect. A great presentation. Thank you very much. Wishing you all the best for your distinguished Toastmaster status, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Distinguished Toastmaster John. That was in detail, very step-by-step methodical evaluation. And I can see Toastmaster Satish as well, that he accepted everything and it is going to add much value to his next speech. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Satish, I do not have much to add here. The evaluator literally covered everything. However, if I may pick a needle in this haystack, and I think it's only me who can do, to get the exact spelling of Gabbys, on the presentation, and you understand where it is coming from. It's only I who can do it. So that's the only thing from my end. Other than that, thank you so much for this beautiful presentation. Please put your hands together for our second speaker and our second evaluator. Let the ball get rolling here. Quickly, I would request the tag team to please keep their reports handy. And let's start with our very first individual on my screen, the timer. Toastmaster Suchita, over to you. Please help us with a very brief timer's report.
Thank you. I'm sharing my screen. Please let me know if it's visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so Mr. John is not, actually he is above the timing, which is 3 minutes 30 seconds. He's at 3 minutes 50 seconds. So he's not qualified as an evaluator. Yogita is having 3 minutes 8 seconds. Kamal Jain having 7 minutes 24 seconds. And Satish is having 7 minutes 22 seconds. I'll share my report in the chat as well. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Suchita, for sharing that brief report. It takes a lot to time everybody and every second of mostly a detailed meeting. If I may add one suggestion to here, to stick with the agenda. For example, we do not have table topic today. However, we have evaluation today. So rather than explaining that what's the table topic timing, we could have explained more on the evaluation timing. So you can just, it's a very fine tuning. We can do it definitely wonderful next time. But thank you so much for your time and patience here. Moving ahead, let's call our counter, Toastmaster Sanjay Jain.
Yeah, thank you,
Over to
General
you.
Evaluator. I will be sharing the report. Yeah. Are you able to see?
We can see your screen. Did you request to kindly share the page while selecting it?
Page Excel only, no?
Yeah, now I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, all have within there is no anything. Only some speakers have 1 or 2 hours, and inappropriate usages which can be improved upon. There is no clutch word and repetition words. This is my report, and I will be sharing in the chat here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so. Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Sanjay, for keeping it brief. And yes, definitely, it helps a lot to understand these filler sounds. So it will be helpful for all of us. Let's move quickly to our next role taker, Toastmaster Rahul, our grammarian for this evening. Rahul, a quick report, please.
Yeah, sure. I'm sharing my screen. I hope it is visible.
It is.
Okay. So today's word of the day was enticing, and 3 people have used it. A general evaluator Smruti, listener Ankur, and evaluator to John. Then good usage paved the way with by uh, PO Mita Shah. And then rhetorical questions like what is this boot camp? Um, why is it a climb by speaker 2 Satish Kannan, and any plan, any goal by Toastmaster John Abraham. Then some recommendations here for Toastmaster of the day Sunil Gupta. He should have chosen to say he chose to say in that context. I would like to mention. Then speaker 1 Kamal Jain, a NGO, it's an NGO. So thank you very much. That's all.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rahul, for helping us with this grammatical report. Everything fine. If I may suggest something, we know that if we are recommending something, we highly appreciate not to mention the name because they will get to know the moment you say the sentence. So going forward, you can just highlight these are the recommendations for the general mass as well. Rather, they can also follow it if in case they come across such sentence or situations. However, thank you so much for the same. Moving ahead with our last role taker, our listener, may I request Toastmaster Rahul to please take the virtual stage.
Hello. I'm back with the test paper of how we did during the meeting. The first question would be, what was the NGO what is the name of the NGO that Speaker 1 Kamal went on his birthday?
Jeev.
Yeah, close. It was Jiwala Foundation. Yes. How many kids were there in that NGO?
70.
Right, Mita? What percentage of Indians are there in orphanages? Yes, correct. G. Moving on to second speaker, Toastmaster Satish. What is the when is the second DTM speech of Toastmaster Satish?
After the contest.
3rd December.
3rd December.
Right. Yes, and just one last question. TMOD mentioned about interview where the candidate gave the wrong capital city for Karnataka. What was that capital city?
Hyderabad.
Right.
Hyderabad.
That I hand it back over to G. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ankur, for that fun-loving and engaging question. And yeah, from on Ankur's behalf, I confirm that we were quite actively listening to the entire segment. And yes, actively listening is what I was also trying to do. Thank you so much to the TAGL team for the efforts which you have put in creating and compiling all the reports in place to give a very quick and crisp evaluation for this entire meeting. The meeting, as usual, started on time, and appreciate all the members and guests who joined half an hour before the meeting started to make sure that everything is in place. Kudos to the XCOM team for setting the tone right, delivering the message, the agenda, and everything was in their right place so that the smooth transition will happen. SAA Toastmaster Yogita playing the dual role today. She started on time, laying down all the important backgrounds or the informations, the disclaimers which are important for a meeting. Followed by that, our presiding officer, Toastmaster Mita, touching upon all possible aspects which is needed for the guests and the members to refresh their memory about Toastmasters. Moving ahead, we had our TMOD, Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. Toastmaster Sunil, I really appreciate your precision on timing today. You literally handed over the stage to the general evaluator, the starting part and also this end leg right on time. So thank you so much for doing that. And I loved the engagement, not only the engagement, but also the thought-provoking question which you have put to all the audience. Kudos. I am looking forward for a good closure as well. In general, meeting really went well. I know we all are excited for the second half as well. So please stay tuned to us on that note. In interest of time, I give the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sunil Gupta.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for successfully conducting the evaluation session. We have seen the sentence, I don't know, is sometimes uncomfortable for different reasons, like fear of exposing your limitations, fear of appearing clueless, feeling pressure to provide an answer, fear of losing credibility, emotional discomfort with ambiguity, fear of being seen as incapable. However, accepting and expressing, I don't know, can be beneficial in some ways as promote it promotes honest communication, it encourages learning and exploration, prevents misinformation, and shows self-awareness and humility. I will conclude by saying embracing I don't know can lead to growth, better questions, and deeper understanding in life. In Toastmasters, by admitting I don't know, members can grow as confident communicators, develop effective leadership skills, build strong relationships, enhance their learning experience and become more authentic and credible speakers. As Toastmaster Luisa Montalvo uh, is has come up on the screen. So let's move on to the education session. To conduct this session, I would like to invite the education session moderator, Toastmaster Jasprit Kaur. Toastmaster Jasprit Kaur is a post and also trainer who helps build inclusive workplace. She is also a communication and workplace skills coach. She's a CBSE English faculty who has helped more than 2,000 students as the board examinations. She is currently the Vice President of Education of the Gabbys International Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Jasprit Kaur, the stage is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Sunil Gupta. What an enticing meeting it has been till now. I'm sure it will continue to be even more enticing with our guest, Luisa Montalvo, who is already in the meeting room with us. I welcome Luisa Montalvo, the World Champion of Public Speaking 2024. Can we please spotlight her? Thank you so much. Yes, she's there. So before I hand it over to her, a little bit of a formal introduction, although she doesn't need anything, but yes, this is the basic that we can do for her. So, Louisa was born and raised in South Texas. She later moved to Austin, Texas, where she worked at Abbott Laboratories. That is when she first joined Toastmasters in 1989 for 3 years. After working for 25 years, she retired from work at the age of 53. She rejoined Toastmasters in 2013 and has been a member ever since. In 2019, she competed in the international speech contest against 33,000 contestants from 143 countries and was placed second. This August, she competed once again, at the Toastmasters International Speech Conference against 30,000 participants from over 150 countries and was placed first in the world. So we all know that. And many of us, most of us have, I think, seen the speech, heard the speech a lot, many times. She is the first Hispanic to win the title. And at the personal front, Louisa has been busy rescuing homeless dogs and cats and driving them to the East Coast for the past 8 years. She has fostered and cared for over 1,000 homeless dogs. And today, right now, she was, I think, on her way back. Maybe she's reached back after taking care of a medical emergency dog. Kudos to you for doing all this, Louisa. It's great to have you amongst us. And let me tell you, these last few days when we have been in conversation all through were really beautiful exchange of ideas and all that. And I would want to continue doing that. It was great connecting with you. So over to you, Luisa Montalvo. Luisa Montalvo, it's up to you. It's up to you, Luisa Montalvo. The virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you so much. 5 words. And you hear it all the time. But this time, it's going to sound different. What are the 5 words? It is up to you. 5 words. Hey, you know what? I need to lose some weight. Well, it's up to you. I have to give a speech, but I don't know if I'm ready. And I don't know. I mean, what it's up to you. These words are words that my father used all the time. I would ask my dad. So, Dad, what do you think? He goes, well, it's up to you. I'm not going to force you to do anything. If I force you to do something, you're probably not going to like it. It could have been something that you would have loved to have done. But when somebody forces you to do something, then you don't like it anymore. So anytime I was like, Dad, do you think, it's up to you. So those words have stayed in my mind since I was a little kid. Now, if you're going to go and have a goal and you want to reach that goal, there's so many questions you have to personally ask yourself. And one of the most important questions is, how bad do you want it? Do you want to lose weight? Well, yeah, but I love chocolate cake. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to lose weight? Well, I want to be a better speaker. How? But I don't want to give a speech because I'm shy and I'm embarrassed. Well, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to be the best speaker in the world? How bad do you want to lose weight? How bad do you want to get in shape? It is up to you. Because you know what? You can buy all these things on the internet. You can buy pills. You can buy contraptions. You can do all this thing to lose weight. But if you don't take the pills, if you don't exercise, if you don't go to the gym, if you don't watch what you're eating, are you going to lose weight? No. It's kind of the same thing with Toastmasters. And right now, everybody's supposed to be renewing their dues. And so you're thinking, well, do I need to renew my dues? Do I need to keep going to Toastmasters? It is up to you. I'm not going to tell you you have to. Nobody's going to tell you you have to. And even if somebody does tell you you have to, now you don't want to do it. So I didn't know what I was doing when I was a kid was going to help me get to where I was in August in Anaheim. You see, as a little kid, I was 5 years old and my brother was 6 years old. And we would go with my mother to her job because my mom loved to make her own money. And when she got married, my dad told her, no wife of mine is going to work. I will be the one to make the money. You will stay home with the kids. Well, my mom said, that's no fun. She liked to have her own money. She would like to go shopping, buy nice things. So my father said, okay, you want to work? Okay. And the kids? Mom said, well, I can drop them off at the babysitter. Nope, no babysitter. You can get a job, but you have to take the kids with you to work. This was back in 1965. Nobody could take their kids to work with them. But one day, right after that, a lady came knocking at my mom's door. She was selling Avon products. This lady would go door to door selling Avon. My mother started talking to her and said, man, I really would love to get a job. And the lady said, hey, why don't you start selling Avon? So my mom said, what am I going to do with my kids? She goes, you can take your car. The kids can sit in the car and wait. It was a much safer time then. Park your car at the block, the end of the neighborhood, walk around, knock on all the doors, and sell your Avon products. And she did that for about 5 years. And guess what? She got really, really good at sales. So they promoted her to district manager. Now there were 200 Avon ladies that she was personally in charge of. We would have a meeting every Tuesday night, all the new products. My brother and I would set up the display. And my mother would get in front of 200 Avon ladies and give speeches. And she did it, and it looked so easy. And she would try to inspire these women. You can sell more. You can do more. Make sure you put on your makeup. Make sure you fix your hair. Make sure you're wearing something nice. So she was inspiring and encouraging all these women that didn't know they were about to start making their own money. This was, again, back in 1965, 1970, when women were not really working. And if they were working, they had an office job. This was getting out, knocking on doors, meeting people, selling products. My mother got very, very good with district management. When we would go to the meetings with my mom, my mother would turn to my brother and I and say, would either one of you want to tell everybody here what Avon products you use today? I thought, I'd love to do that. I thought everybody got in front of 200 women and spoke because this is what I saw my mom do every Tuesday night. So I quickly became very comfortable with speaking in front of 200 women. And it wasn't for very long. It was maybe for a minute. And we would talk about the Avon products. But as I started going to junior high and high school, there were so many speech contests that I could enter. Now, I have to tell you something. In high school, that's kind of a tough time for kids growing up because you want to be yourself, but yet you can have high school bullies. You can have friends that don't say nice things to you. So it's really a tough time because you're trying to be an adult and you're also trying to pass all your grades. So high school was a kind of a tough time for me, but I started competing in speech contests. Now, back then, I recall the first contest I went to, there were 3 judges sitting there looking at me, judging me. Now, I don't know why Toastmasters doesn't do this, but when I was in high school, after the judges would judge you, they would give you their evaluation. So now you can see, where do you need to improve on? I remember looking at those 3 pages from those 3 judges. The first judge said, great vocal variety, great humor, but next time, maybe you should wear a dress. What? Okay. The next judge, oh, great eye communication, great substance, great topic, but next time, maybe you should wear some makeup. Oh my goodness. The next judge didn't say anything about the way I looked. They just said that it was a great speech. And all that stuck in my mind. Well, now I guess I have to wear makeup, fix my hair, wear a dress. What did that have to do with me giving a speech? It really didn't have anything to do. Of course, maybe I would have gotten an extra point if I looked nicer. But this was a speech contest. It was not the Miss America beauty pageant. But I remembered everything these judges had said. When I first joined Toastmasters back in 1989, I competed. It was so much fun. I have never had so much fun because I love to compete. It's the only reason I joined Toastmasters. I remember when I started working at Abbott Laboratories back in 1987, I was going down the hallway to the HR building. I was about to sign papers so that I could become a permanent employee at Abbott Labs. I'm walking down the hall at work, and there's these people laughing in one of the office rooms. I thought, this is work. Nobody's supposed to be laughing. Nobody's supposed to be having a good time at work. So I remember looking into the room, and there was one speaker at the very front of the room. And I went to go listen. I didn't know it, but at the time, it was a Toastmaster humorous contest. So I listened, and I could hear his jokes. And the first thing I think of is, I'm funnier than that. Luisa, is this a contest? So the sergeant-at-arms wouldn't let me into the room. And after he finished speaking, the sergeant-at-arms opened the door. And I asked him, what's going on here? This looks like a lot of fun. He says, this is Toastmasters. We're having a contest. I said, a contest? Can I compete right now? He says, no, ma'am, you need to be a member first. I went, oh, okay, fine. So I immediately joined Toastmasters and I started competing right away. The reason I joined Toastmasters was to be able to compete. But here's the beauty of Toastmasters, and I'm sure most of you are aware of this. You see, you make so many friends in Toastmasters. I have not met one single person that has been mean to me or has said anything ugly to me. And this is 1,700 people that were there in Anaheim. Not one person had anything bad to say. Where can you get 1,700 people together and everybody has a good time? Every time that I get together with a Toastmaster family or friends, it's always a good time, and it's such a great support group. This isn't why I joined Toastmasters. I joined Toastmasters to compete. One of the beauties of Toastmasters is having a support group and family. Now, what good is it to have a support group or a Toastmaster family? Let me tell you what happened one time. About 5 years ago, I had bought a bus, and I filled that bus with dogs that were here in the valley, and we were on our way to New Jersey. What happened in the middle of Little Rock, Arkansas? My bus broke down. We had 60 dogs on the bus, and I didn't know what to do. I panicked. My friend started calling people. She says a friend of hers could come and bring us his van, but where were we going to stay in the meantime? She said, hey, don't you know any Toastmasters in Little Rock, Arkansas? I said, no, I don't know any Toastmasters in Little Rock, Arkansas. She said, well, find some. Don't you say they're all over the world? So I said, okay, fine. So I got on my phone. I called the region director from Region 3. I said, Amethyst. I said, Amethyst, hey, do we have any Toastmasters in Little Rock, Arkansas? She said, yes, what do you need? I said, my bus broke down. We don't have anywhere to stay. She goes, give me a minute. And she hung up. And guess what? 5 minutes later, 3 Toastmasters from Little Rock, Arkansas called and said, do you want to stay at our house? 3 different families. They didn't even know me. I hadn't even spoken. I hadn't competed, nothing. But because they were Toastmasters and I was a Toastmaster, we were welcome to stay with them. Wow. Wow. This is the kind of great organization this is. But let's go back to competing, which is what I love to do. Again, here I was competing. And really the only thing I wanted to do when I competed was to make my mom proud. She was such a great, eloquent speaker. I just wanted to be just like her. And so I told her, Mom, I'm joining Toastmasters. And she said, what is that? I said, oh, Mom, it's an organization. You get to speak, you get to compete, you get to do so many things. You meet a lot of nice people. She said, wow, well, good for you, Luisa. I started competing, and 3 years later, at my place of work, they no longer had Toastmasters Club. So I stopped competing. And that's probably, I would think, the biggest mistake I ever made. Was I didn't go and look for another Toastmaster Club. I should have done that because I could have probably won first place a long time ago. But here I am, 65 years old. And this is what I want everybody to realize. Because if you're thinking, I'm almost 30. I'm almost 40. I'm almost 50. I can't do that. Are you kidding me? I'm 65. Age is not a number. It's nothing. It's nothing. Don't let that take over how you think. You can do anything at any time. But you know what? It's up to you. It's up to you to tell yourself you can do it. So about 25 years go by. I moved back home after I retire, and I go to the library because I didn't have internet. I had just moved back. And there's this big yellow sign on the door, join Toastmasters. I went, oh my gosh, yes, I've got to join Toastmasters again. I had so much fun. So I joined back in 2013, which was 11 years ago. I started competing because that's all I wanted to do. And I remember the very first speech I wrote for the international contest. I said, you know what, Luisa? This speech is perfect. It's going to win. You're going to win district and you're going to go all the way to the finals. And guess what happened? Nothing. I didn't win anything. I didn't make it to district. And I thought I had the perfect speech. So the next year, again, here I go, writing another speech. Now, don't get me wrong. That first year that I lost, you know what I did driving home from the contest? I cried. And then I got mad. And then I said, you know what? I don't want to do Toastmasters anymore. That was a perfect speech. I should have won, and I didn't. So forget it. If they don't see what a good speaker I am, forget it. About a month went by, and my 94-year-old mentor called me. She said, Luisa, why aren't you coming to the meetings? I said, I don't think I want to do Toastmasters anymore. She goes, oh, because you didn't win? Yes, because I didn't win. She goes, oh, really? So you're just going to give up that easy? Well, no wonder you didn't win. Wait, what? She goes, no wonder you didn't win. You're giving up that easy? Okay, fine, Phyllis. I'm coming back to the meetings. And I started going back to the meetings. And the next year, I competed again. Nothing. And the next, and the next, and the next, and the next. Nothing. It was my 7th year of trying to win a district. And I remember telling Phyllis, I said, you know what, Phyllis? If I don't win this year, I'm not doing this anymore. I mean, how much rejection can I take? Every time that I would lose, I would come back home. I would rewrite a different speech. I would try to reinvent myself. I would try to look at it from a different angle. Nothing. I wouldn't place at all. And she said, you know why you're not placing, Lisa? I'm like, why, Phyllis? Why haven't you told me? 7 years go by and you're just now telling me? Why? She goes, well, you're not having any fun. Fun? Phyllis, this is a contest. There's no fun in contest. It's con and test. It's a test to see if I can win. There's no fun in contest. She goes, Luisa, you get up there and you look so serious. You need to have fun. So I told myself, okay, fine. Let me go have fun. And guess what? I won district. Wait, what? Are you kidding me? And then I went on to regional and won regional. And then I went to the semifinals and I won semifinals. And then I go to the finals. I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have been having fun this whole time instead of being so serious. So there I was on the stage. And I gave my speech in 2019. And I'm going to share something with you. And I think you might know me by now if you've seen my speech for this year. I'm not going to get religious on you. But I wondered, when I won second place, I asked my God, why didn't you let me win? I wanted to win first place. You know, that's all I wanted. Why didn't you let me win? And then guess what happened? A month later, COVID. You see, if I would have won first place, I had been invited to Dubai, to Portugal, to Germany, all these beautiful places. But if I would have won first place and then COVID, I wouldn't have been able to travel anywhere. So I guess it was kind of okay that I didn't win first place back in 2019. And then I remember calling Aaron Beverly. I felt bad for him. I said, Aaron, you won first place and now you're not going to get to travel? He said, Luisa, I won second back in 2016. I traveled the world back in 2016. I'm okay. I went, oh, okay. Well, that's good. And then after winning 2019, I got to go to one place, and that was Puebla, Mexico. I got on stage, and as soon as I got on stage, I had 400 people getting ready to listen to me to give my speech. One lady had come up to me and said, she said this in Spanish because I understand Spanish and I speak a little Spanish. She said, Luisa, I drove 6 hours to come and listen to you today. What? Who drives 6 hours to hear me? Are you kidding me? Wow, I was shocked. So I got up on stage and they had introduced me to my translator because I was going to speak in English. But everybody there in Mexico in my audience spoke Spanish. And as soon as I said hello, everybody in the audience put on their little earplugs so they could hear the translator. Oh my gosh, that was That was probably the hardest thing to see, because I remember that lady saying, I drove 6 hours to hear you speak. And here, she wasn't even going to be able to hear me speak. She was going to be listening to a translator. So I said a prayer and I told them, I can, and I said this in Spanish, I said, I can give my speech in English and speak slowly, or I can give my speech in Spanish and speak slower, because my Spanish is not very good. And they all started to applaud it. Español, Español. They wanted me to say my speech in Spanish. So for an hour and 15 minutes, I was on stage in Puebla, Mexico, struggling to speak Spanish, but I made it. And they were so, so happy that I attempted that. People were taking pictures with me. I was shaking everybody's hand. And one lady came up to me and said, Luisa, congratulations on being the first Hispanic to make it to the top 3. Oh, wow. Really? I'm the first one? She said, yes. No Hispanic has ever made it to the top 3. Wow, okay, thank you. Well, thank you. And she turned to leave, and I turned to speak to somebody else, and she said, Luisa. And I said, yes. She said, good luck on making it to number 1. Wait, what? I have to do this another 7 years? I have to go through all those contests again just to get number 1? I'm happy with number 2. Aren't you happy with number 2? And she looked at me and she said, Luisa, it's up to you. You can get number 1. I know you can. Oh my gosh, I got to do this all over again? Are you kidding me? So there I go, competing again and losing again and again and again and again until last year, or this year. Actually, I started in February. And I really didn't know how I was going to feel. I had had so many things happen from 2019 to this year. But I got on stage and I gave my semifinals and everybody loved it. And I was so happy. And people came up to me and said, Luisa, I remember you from 2019. So good to see you back. That's the Toastmaster family. You see, I know a lot of you joined to be better speakers. Maybe your boss told you you had to join. Maybe you just want to improve on yourself, which is great. But what you don't realize is along the way, you make friends. And not only do you make friends from your country, you make friends from all around the world. I see you, Lisa. I see you. I haven't met her yet, but she's one of my best friends. She's amazing. And I haven't even met her. And this is what Toastmasters is all about. When I had my accident 2 years ago, because I had competed in 2019, and it was on Facebook that I'd had an accident, I had people from all around the world sending me letters and cards for me to read, and text messages and Facebook messages. And it felt so good to know that somebody cared about how I was doing. You see, it's up to you. You have to ask yourself, why are you here? Are you here in Toastmasters to be a better speaker? Are you here because you want to do leadership? You want to be a director, area, division, district? Are you here like me to compete? It's okay. You can go ahead and compete. I already won the trophy, so you can go ahead and compete now. I would have told you not to before, but no, you can go ahead and compete now. Toastmasters is one of the best organizations in the world because cares about the member, you. It cares about you. So, again, let me tell you, it's up to you. Why are you here? I know why I'm here now. I thought I was here just to win the title, just to win the trophy. Now, I really want to stay because you are my Toastmaster family. And I'm so, so honored. And forgive me for not making the meeting last week. And I almost didn't make the meeting this week, but thanks to everything working out. Again, thank you for having me. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them. If you need anything from me that I can help you with, please let me know because we're family. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so very much for this wonderful, very inspiring speech. And yes, I truly believe it's up to us. You have given us the validation for that. So now I guess the floor is open for question. Next 10 minutes we'll give for Q&A. So anyone having any questions, please put them in the chat box. Or if you want to come up and ask straight away, then kindly raise your hands. Any questions, anything anyone would want to say?
Luisa.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to ask one thing that in the contest, final contest, when you won the world championship, so you got the topic 37 strangers. So what came to your mind instantly that, what I have to say, I have to say. That's.
You're talking about my speech and how I came about with the idea?
Yes.
Okay. I had a lot of people, a lot of Toastmasters that kept messaging me and asking me how I was doing. And so I felt I wanted to let everybody know that I was okay, that I'm doing better. And so I thought, well, I should make a speech about what happened to me, but I didn't want to talk about breaking my legs or, I didn't want to talk about all that. I wanted to make a speech about what I'd gone through, but I wanted to make it humorous. And I guess the realization that I had, because if you haven't seen my speech yet, after the accident, I was in Baltimore, Maryland for 3 months by myself. I didn't have any family around me. So I got to know everybody there. And I couldn't walk. And I don't know if you've ever had any kind of surgery or anything where you can't walk, but it drove me crazy. And I even thought to myself, what good am I if I can't even walk? Why am I still here? And that's, I know a lot of us go through a mindset where we are set back and we don't think we're ever going to be able to get out of whatever we're going through. And we start to question our value and why are we here? So I figure a lot of people may have gone through something like that. And the one thing you want to do is get interaction or connect with your audience. And I thought that would be the perfect way for me to do that. So I wanted people to know, I wanted Toastmasters to know, look, I'm okay. We all go through tough times, but it's worth being here on earth. We are worth value. And I guess that's why I gave that speech. I hope that answered your question.
All right. There is this one question in the chat box which says, this is by Afshan Irshad. I don't know he's a Toastmaster or not. So the question is how to become a great motivational speaker.
Ooh. How much time do you have?
We have some time.
Well, okay. So I kind of just talked about how to become a great motivational speaker. To motivate means you want to get people excited about something, maybe excited about the same thing you're excited about. So if you want to see me excited, let me talk about dogs and cats. Oh my gosh, I get so excited. So the best thing to do when you're going to try to motivate somebody or an audience is try to talk about something that gets you motivated, that gets you excited. Because if you ask me to talk about, oh, I don't know, building a house, I don't, why would I want to build a house? I don't know how to do that. The energy level goes down. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, but ask me about dogs and cats. Oh my gosh. Okay, there was this one dog where, and you see how I get excited? And when you get excited as a speaker, you get your audience excited. And that's where the motivation part comes in. There's a lot of different tricks that you can learn on how to become a good motivational speaker. But I suggest that you start talking about stuff that excites you. So that way it's infectious and your audience gets excited too and motivated.
Thank you very much for your answer, ma'am. Thank you.
So we have a hand raised by Maggie. Maggie, can you please put up your question?
Should I put it up or should I ask the question?
Yeah, please come up with it.
Louisa, I'm so happy to see you. We met in Anaheim, and I remember telling you
Maggie,
that I knew you were going to win. And
why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me?
I told you after the semi-final that, Louisa, you are winning this convention or this contest. And you know what you told me?
What?
I know. Of course I will. This is immediately after the semi-finals. And I'm curious to know, how did you know? What is it inside of you that told you, out of the 28 of you, you are going to be the winner? What was that conviction in your heart that made you know you had the winning speech?
I told you that, and I told everybody else that, hoping that maybe I was speaking to a judge every now and then, and was, oh, well, she told me she was going to win. No, I'm kidding. The thing is, lately, you know what I've gotten into, and it's really worked so well for me. And I don't know if people believe this or not, but I'll get up in the morning and they're called affirmations, which is like you say, okay, I'm doing this, I'm getting this, I'm going to obtain this, I'm going to start this, or even better, instead of saying I'm going to, you say, okay, I already have a nice house, I already have a nice car, I already have a great job, I already have this. So I would get up every morning, probably for the last 3 or 4 months, and tell myself, hey, I'm the best speaker in the world. I've already won the contest. I've already got the trophy. So I would tell myself this, and believe it or not, after a little while, you start believing it. And for some reason, there's an attraction, because I have done this a few times with different things, and little by little, they come true. Now, maybe if I hadn't won this year, believe me, I was going to be back next year, and the year after that, and the year after that, until I was going to win. So the more I kept saying, I'm going to win this, the more I started to believe it. So to me, affirmations work. They might not work for everybody, but that's what I kept telling myself, and I kept telling everybody else around me that.
That's great. Affirmations and manifestations, they go a long way. Yes. Yes. So now we have Mudit Bhandari, who's raised his hand. Mudit, please come up with your question.
Yeah, hi, I actually put up in the chat. I will just repeat. So this is more in terms of crafting the speech. So what methods did you use to know that whether some part of the speech should be included in your actual speech or it should not be? So sometimes when we practice, we feel like that it is must to be included, and sometimes it feels like it should not be included. So getting reviews from people also, we get diverse reviews that, oh, this is not following the main script, or this is following the script. So what is the tiebreaker test for that?
Okay, so your question is, when you're writing the speech, what part do you leave in a speech and what part do you leave out? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I do. And this is a kind of a session that I give when everybody's asking me, how do you write a winning speech? So you have, like I said, you want to talk about something that you're passionate about, that you're excited about. That way your audience feels your energy. So I'll grab my phone, and instead of sitting there at the desk, and I'm like, okay, Luisa, you have to write a speech. Nobody wants to do that. Right away, you're going to get writer's block. So forget that, okay? So what you do is, okay, you're driving to work and you go, oh, you know what I'm going to talk about? I'm going to talk about that dog that I tried to catch last week and I couldn't catch him. Okay, you go to voice memo, hit voice memo and say, okay, I'm going to write a speech about trying to catch that dog. Okay. And then you turn it off and you put your phone down. And then 2 days later, you're there and you're mowing the yard or you're taking a shower or you're doing whatever. And you go, oh, I know what I can say about that speech. I can also say that my mom used to go with me to go try to catch that dog. Okay, voice memo. Oh, and I have to talk about the time that my mom went to go help me to try to catch the dog. Okay. And then you put it down. So the whole week you go through this, and every time you think of trying to build on that story, you just grab your phone or anything. You can even write it down, voice memo. And then guess what? At the end of the week, you have about 7 or 10 little memos, voice memos. There you write down some, you start writing them down. You put your outline together. You go, okay. So now once you have an outline, the rest, you can just kind of fill it in. So talk about something you're going to be passionate about. Grab your phone or grab a piece of paper, start writing down notes, and then start building on that. I usually start out with a 15-minute speech. So I usually have to cut that down in half. Now, when I first started to compete, you're going to think this is crazy. I would sit there and look at a sentence. And if a sentence had 20 syllables, how am I going to go to the store without any money? Okay, instead of 15 syllables, I would try to make it 8. No money, no store. I said the same thing. I said the exact same thing, but instead of it taking me 20 syllables or 15, I said it in 4. And that's where I was able to start cutting down and condensing. And it's worked for me for the last 7, 8, 9 years. Yes, 13 years. There you go. I hope it works for you.
Thank you very much. I guess this answer has answered many other questions that were there in the chat box also. So now let's have it from DTM Harish. He's been raising his hand for quite some time now. DTM Harish, over to you.
Hi, Luisa, the champion. Nice to see you in action again.
Thank you.
I had loved your speech, and in my list, you are always the champion. When you perform.
Should have been a judge, but okay, go ahead.
Your speech was laced with emotions. A lot of good story, personal story. That is what everyone advocates, that you should come up with a personal story, and it was beautifully. You moved the audience, especially someone like me. I remember champion Ed Tate in one of his critiques had mentioned about a DDI formula, that he said there's one formula which is called as DDI, that is death, disease, or injury, which evokes emotions. Now, what if someone like me, who has led a very bland life, who has not encountered any of this in his life, whether I can still dream of coming up with a speech which can be emotionally charged? How do I go about it? Suppose if I don't have such stories.
Okay, so great question. And I don't know if you've seen my 2019 speech. That was about racism. I don't know anybody who has not experienced racism, because up until last year, 2 years ago, nothing exciting had happened in my life. So I talked about racism. You can talk about racism. You can talk about anything that happened to you in your childhood. Something that almost all of your audience is going to be able to relate to. You don't have to see, I got hit by 2 18-wheeler trucks. You don't have to get hit by 2 18-wheeler trucks to have a good story or a good speech. You know,
right.
All you have to do is something that really motivated you, or maybe even, get this, upset you. Maybe something that upset you, but you have to be very gentle in presenting it. Now, when you present something to your audience, you never attack your audience. You attack yourself. You can use self-deprecation. That's okay, because all the audience is like, I can't say, oh, you need to lose weight. You don't say that. I can say, man, I keep eating cookies and cake. I need to lose weight. And everybody in the audience is going to say, yes, you do. You need to lose weight. But don't attack your audience. It has to be something that you're going through. And then it'll be acceptable to your audience. But it can be about anything. And like I said, I had a bland life until I was hit by those 2 trucks. But I hope you never get hit by anything. But you can talk about anything. It doesn't have to be a big accident or a tragedy. Anything you're passionate about that you've lived through or gone through. It can even be about your parents. It doesn't have to be about you. So good luck with that, okay?
Thank you so much. We'll have just one last quick question now. Shivani has raised her hand. Shivani, would you please want to come up? Shivani, are you there? So
she went to go get cookies and cake.
It's fine. She's not there. Anyway, so thank you very much on behalf of the entire Gabbys family, Louisa Montalvo. We are one family and we are 3 clubs. We are the Gabbys, we are Gabbys Online, we are Gabbys International. So 3 clubs we have, and that is what I was telling you. We are a strong club. We would love to have you. And today the room, my phone, my WhatsApp, everything has been buzzing for messages and whatnot, just because you are there. And I would just want to share that one thing with the audience, which, you know, I've not shared till now. One is that now when we've had this keynote speech, you got it. So now, when you've heard the keynote speech, all of you, please go back and listen to 37 Strangers once again. I did that. And what I did was, when I was having a word with Louisa, that time it was 6 o'clock in the morning at my place when you said, is it a good time to talk? So I was like, Louisa is asking me, any time is a good time to So, and we were talking, and I just happened to tell her that, you know, when I was listening to your speech, I was making notes. She was like, oh, is that so? Share the notes. Share the notes with me. Can you imagine the world champion asking me to share the report, the notes? So when I shared, I gave a disclaimer. This is not an evaluation. This is an appreciation of your speech. And it was, because it was not even a 3-minute thing. I think I sent an audio note. It went up till more than 6 minutes. Yeah. Because there was so much that I wanted to pour. Because when I first heard her keynote speech in District 71, I went back and heard the speech. Then I researched a bit about everything. The dots got connected. There's a lot of meaning. There's a lot of meaning, a lot of inspiration, much beyond what you said today. So that's my personal experience. And thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart. And I will definitely keep on pinging you, connecting with you, and do keep on dropping messages about your podcast or whatever thing is happening. And for the others who are in Chennai, in May, Louisa is going to visit us in Chennai. You are coming, right?
Yes, I'll be there in May.
In May,
so excited.
Louisa Montalvo
So
will be here in Chennai. So all Chennai guys, please put the timer, the alarm, whatever, if you want to go and meet her. So thank you once again. Thanks a lot.
But please don't tell me you drove 6 hours, because I can't speak Indian. So I can speak to you in Spanish and English, but that's about it. But I did want to mention one thing. Oh my gosh, and you just spoke about it right now. Oh, my memory has escaped me. Oh my gosh. Oh, yes. I'm watching that questions are coming up in the chat, but is there any way I could get a copy of everything that was discussed in the chat?
Okay, so whatever is there in the chat, I'll just tell somebody to copy and share it with me. I'll further share it with you.
Awesome.
And there are many people wanting to connect with you. So I'll just forward the message. So whatever, you can connect with them, or whatever way you can tell me, I can connect, whatever. So that has to be according to the way you want.
Sure. I think it's LinkedIn. I'm not a huge fan of that, because it's people looking for jobs and I don't want to work anymore.
That is
so
LinkedIn.
Yeah. So I'm tired of working, so I don't want to do that anymore. But I'm on Facebook or Messenger or email or text message or WhatsApp. I love WhatsApp. That's great too.
Yes.
But you know what? Okay, so I am old, getting older. So I'm not real fast at getting back at everything. I'm not like, I'm not on my phone all the time and everything. So you can message me And I will get back to you. Might take me a day or two, and you can ask Eliza. She's like, Louisa, send me your bio. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm always late with her. She's so patient with me, so great. But yes, as many people as I could meet there in Chennai, I would love to. I'm so looking forward to it. I love to travel and I love to meet new people and I love to experience all the culture and the food. So yes, I'm excited.
Thank you so much. With the hope and the disclaimer that I'll remain connected with you, I hand it over to the presiding officer. Mita.
Wait. That's exactly what I was going to say. You said, that the world champion and you were going to evaluate me. Okay. So let me tell everybody this, and please listen. I am not the best speaker in the world. You know what I did? And I tell everybody this. I did 4 things. I said the right thing to the right judges on the right day at the right time. That's it. And if I can do it, any of you can do it. All you have to do is say the right thing at the right time to the right judges on the right day. That's it. I am no better than anybody else. I'm sure any of you can make it to the world stage. The thing is, it's up to you.
So that's what I was about to say. It is up to you. So it is up to all of us. And the line for today to be kept in mind is that we are a family. We are a family, the Toastmaster family. Thank you so very much, Louisa Montano.
No, thank you.
No, not me. It's thanks to you. All thanks to you. So you accepted my invitation. Thanks a lot for that.
There you go. Well, that's why I said thanks to you. Thanks to you. I'm able to be here. Love it. I love it.
So presiding officer, Toastmaster Mita and Shah, over to you.
Oh, thank you. Such a wonderful keynote speech. My God, mind-blowing. Thanks a lot for you. Let's give a huge round of applause for our keynote speaker, world champion, and what I can say, a very motivational speaker, Toastmaster Louisa Montalvo. Wow! Just give a huge round of applause. Please unmute yourself and give a huge round of applause to our world champion.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing keynote speech. My God. So thank you for so much. A very special thanks. Now, thank you for all the role takers. Our special thanks to Toastmaster of the Day, our General Evaluator, a special thanks to speakers, evaluators, and we appreciate the presence of esteemed guests, Toastmasters, and distinguished Toastmasters across the globe for gracing us with your presence in the initial, mid, and towards the end of the meeting today. So I request guests to share your experience. Thank you, guests, and keep joining to our club meetings. Can anyone is interested to share your experience?
Toastmaster Mita, meanwhile, I'll be just conducting the polls. Request everyone to vote for the favorite role players during the meeting. Thank you.
Yes. So can I ask new members, like those who are guests, please can you give your feedback, how you felt about today's meeting? It was a lot of gaining, but still, you feel free to speak now. Toastmaster Altina Milton.
It was an excellent meeting and
to give your feedback.
the education section and things like that. It was a wonderful learning experience.
Okay, Arun Kumar. Vikram Prakash.
It was a really nice session. I really enjoyed from the beginning till the end. The keynote speech is awesome. and I enjoyed the evaluators' evaluation. And I also took back some notes from all the speakers' session. And really thank for this wonderful meeting. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Omer Dakteki. Is it correct your spell? I'm just pronouncing your name, pronunciation.
I went
Omer.
back to the chat and there's somebody there that's wanting to learn how to join. So yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Toastmaster Mita, we have some international guests. We have the president of Anatolia Toastmasters Club, Turkey.
Yes.
Meltem. Meltem, I would really want you to tell us how you like the meeting.
Yes, sure.
DTM Meltem.
Our
Can you
special
please?
thanks and gratitude to Luisa Montalvo. Thank you so much for your valuable experience. We all appreciate. Thank you, dear Jasprit Kaur. Thank you to you and your organization team. It was wonderful. It was great honor and pleasure to listen, Luisa. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thanks for coming over and staying over here, Meltem, throughout the meeting. Thank you so much.
Next, this one, Carl.
Are we done with the polls? Toastmaster Yogita?
Just one more poll to go. We're done with 2.
Anybody else is interested? Just you can give your.
Yeah, I would like to say that it was a wonderful meeting, and it was great to listen to Luisa. And I would like to know more about Luisa, as she said that she is from Abbott. She started her career with Abbott, and I also started my career with the parent company. Like Abbott, Novo Nordisk, they are quite similar. And I am also from a pharmaceutical background. I'm not sure what she's doing right now, or how she in which industry she was professionally, but I would love to know more about her. Thank you so much.
Okay, there are many people who want to convey their invite to you. So I'll share the WhatsApp chat, and all those who are mentioning that in the chat box, could you please leave your contact numbers with us so that we can hand them over ahead to Luisa.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, so the poll is down.
Yeah, are we ready with the results?
Yes, session moderator and PO.
No, you hand it over to the PO, please.
Yeah, I've done that. I've just dropped her a message over Zoom. We're done with the results. We have not conducted the polls for the evaluators because of a disqualification.
Yes,
yes. That's it. Thanks.
Okay, so we have a favorite role player, our G. Wow, Smruti S Mohanty. All the way from US, same country. Then our favorite auxiliary role, Toastmaster Ankur. And our favorite speaker, Toastmaster, upcoming, like being going to become a DTM. So Toastmaster Satish Kannan. So now we have already results. So we have given for today's meeting. Thank you all the guests, and keep joining our club meetings. We request you to join, and then see you all on 19th Saturday morning at 10 a.m. to 12 noon IST in hybrid meeting at number 91 Springboard near Vivekananda Metro Station next to CV Raman Hospital, Indiranagar, Bangalore 38. By this, I adjourn today's meeting. Thank you once again to all.
Thanks to everybody. Special thanks to Luisa once again. We can.
Yes. Were you able to get a group picture of everybody?
Yeah, I was just about to ask for that. Can we have everybody on the camera?
In between, we did take, but now we can have a good one. All cameras on and everybody smiling.
People, it's your time to come on camera and just click
Yogita,
1, 2. Yeah. Yeah, just breathe.
Okay, so one suggestion, take a group picture, then spotlight Louisa and take one that way as well.
Okay.
So one like this and then spotlighting the speaker.
Okay, say cheese. With mics muted. One is done.
Who is that? Elios?
Elios, yes.
Hello. I see that. I see you.
The best facial expressions, Elios.
I'm spotlighting Louisa now and taking one that way. But that wouldn't come, that all people won't come that ways. I mean, only one can come.
Yogita, that's
Yogita,
for
select the multiple multi-speaker.
Okay.
Yeah, you will get more people on the screen.
Yeah, done that. I'm just taking, okay, 1, 2, say cheese with mics off. Okay, I try to include everyone and apologies if somebody is not included, but thank you. Thank you for being patient.